a little birdie told us that we have an iconic South African singer and actress in studio this morning, and Zoe's on the couch chatting to her about her latest venture.
As a talent judge, singer and actress, Marah Louw holds nothing back, and when it seems she applied the same principle to her brand new autobiography, It's Me, Marah. And here to chat about her highly anticipated book is Marah Louw herself, and I have to say I'm super excited to have you here. Good morning.
Good morning. I am so excited myself.
Oh, I believe it's your first time here.
Yes, you know, every time when I watch the show in the morning and in the afternoon, I think, where am I supposed to go?
Oh, well, now you're here and you have a fabulous book. I mean, I feel like, and I think a lot of audiences can also relate, we feel like we know you because we've seen your journey. What brought about the decision to let people a little deeper into your life through your book?
I think one of the reasons I decided to write, I mean, I've been putting stuff down for many years. I used to have what some people call the little black book. Traveling around the world, I used to write down every little incident that has happened. And eventually, I wanted to write the book. I think I started when I was around about 50 years old. I started putting everything down. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and put it down. But I got to a point when I thought, no, I want to really sit down and do this, but I want to reach 60. Because now I feel like I have really seen a lot. Been through a lot. And again, with the media, which mostly they like to write stuff about us, you know, and they try to decide who you are and why you are. And I thought, now I need to set the record straight and tell my story, because I don't think people really know me. That's why I'm saying it's me, Marah.
Oh, you know what? I think a lot of people, myself included, will be very excited to read this book. Now, I personally, they say never judge a book by its cover, but the cover always draws my attention at least, and you have a stunning cover. Do you want to tell us the story behind
that cover? That photograph was taken by a wonderful woman called Fiona McPherson. She actually lives here in Cape Town now. And she took the photograph for the cover of my first album called Marah. And she had all types of different photographs. There was one for the international release of the album, and there was one for the local release of the album. So when my publisher and I were sitting down, I brought in a whole suitcase full of photographs. We had to decide which photograph would be for the cover. And as soon as she spotted that one, which was actually my favorite, I wished that she could choose it for the cover. And she said, that's the one. And I said, definitely.
Oh, fantastic. You know what, it's a beautiful cover, but, you know, there's also, we go through things where you touch on topics that sometimes, it's difficult to talk about.
Yeah.
Do you find it's, relevant today, especially to address issues like racism, and I'm sure what you discuss in your book? Yes,
it was very important for me, because we're living in days where the younger generation, whom I hope they would be able to get hold of the book so they can learn about where we come from, what we've gone through. You know, sometimes people like to sugarcoat what has happened in their lives. And I wanted to just come out. And it was also, for me, a cleansing thing. You know, for me, writing this book was one of the best therapeutic experiences that I went. It was, sometimes I would break down. You know, I would stop for like a month and just not go there. But my daughter, I've got only one child, my daughter, her name is Marah Louw. She actually became my mother. You know, when I started breaking down, like in the middle of the night, I'd wake up and write, and suddenly she could just hear me belching and crying when I look back and think about that particular incident. Sometimes she would be walking past me to check on me, and she'll hear me laughing. Like when I remember certain incidences that are very funny, which are in the book. So it was a cleansing thing, and it was also just for the younger people and for the older people, some people who think they know me, and some people who do know about things that have happened in my life. And I knew there's nothing I can hide, because if I hide this and not talk about it and address it, some people will say, so why didn't she talk about that incident? Because we know this happened.
Yeah. Well, I think it's good to, discuss things, and it's amazing what channel it opens for other conversations to start. Please come back and perform for us. We would love to have you here.
Yes, I'd love to do that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for sharing your journey, something many people will be able to learn from. Well, I have to say once again, Marah Louw, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
You can get your hands on her autobiography. It's called It's Me, Marah. It's online, and it's at all major bookstores nationwide.